At the NTSB, we investigate accidents in all modes of transportation, find the probable cause, and we issue recommendations to prevent those accidents from happening again. Our most important product is our safety recommendation. Yesterday I mentioned that we are the diagnosticians and not the surgeons. We issue the prescription, and then industry and states have to act on those. What we have done in the U.S. can help also here in the Caribbean. I myself, as a native of Barbados and a native of this region that was born and raised here, I often visit my father, and I see a lot of the problems that we have in the development of the roads there. I mentioned recently in my talk yesterday about a 17-year-old that needlessly lost her life on the roads in Barbados while she was riding as a passenger on a motorcycle. The young rider decided to pop a wheelie. She fell off the back of the motorcycle and was ran over by a minibus. That's a young 17-year-old life that needlessly went down the drain, needlessly lost, a preventable crash, okay? Now, we do believe at the NTSB we have issued recommendations for education, distracted driving, impaired driving, all modes of transportation. And some of what we have done there can also help those here in the Caribbean. For instance, one of the things that they're trying to develop here is graduated driver's licensing. Much information. We have a tremendous amount of information at the NTSB from recommendations that we have issued. So what I'm saying is that here in the Caribbean, they don't have to reinvent the wheel. They can look to people such as ourselves and other people in the U.S. that are doing quite a bit on these fronts and take that information and take some of our models. And I'm not saying that we have all the answers, because we can learn from what some of the things that they're doing here in the Caribbean, as well as learn from us, that we can share lessons that they can learn from also.
Okay, so as a regional meeting, this Congress promotes exchanges between road professionals faced with similar road safety challenges. What do you see as the value of regional exchange of best practices?
The value that I see of regional exchange is that the problem that we face globally, or the problem that we face in the U.S., they also face here in the Caribbean. We do believe that information sharing is important. This week we kicked off the UN Global Road Safety Week. It's a global problem. It's not just a problem that's in the U.S. or in the Caribbean. As we have said once before, car crashes, fatalities, injuries does not discriminate by region, color, creed. Okay, so the information that we share amongst ourselves will be information that can help to build or reduce injuries, prevent crashes and fatalities on the road. We might have a bit of information in the U.S. that, again, that I said that we can provide with the Caribbean region that can help them develop safer and better roads. We might have we might have a policy in place or something of that on that front along the lines of maybe distracted driving, impaired driving, seat belts, child passenger safety, any number of things to prevent injuries and fatalities, and we can share that information. Along with, again, as I mentioned, with the Caribbean sharing information there. So information sharing is very significant to the growth, to the reduction of injuries and fatalities on our roads.
Okay. And last question, what would be your message to the Caribbean road community?
My message to the Caribbean road community would be, look beyond the UN Decade of Action goals, okay? Just don't look to 2020, okay? Look to reduce or look to accomplish the goal of zero fatalities, zero roadway death, okay? It's a big goal, it's a broad goal, but look just beyond the just nows. I mentioned to many of the attendees here yesterday to continue to chip away. Okay, it's not something that can be done in a day, and it's not something that can be done in a week or in a year. They have to continue to chip away to create better roads and to reduce injuries and fatalities. Perfect example, last year when I was here, Brazil, Guyana, Barbados weren't doing some of the things that they're doing. And now this year the report is that Belize is doing a tremendous amount. I talked to one of the young ladies from Belize yesterday, and they're beginning to educate the younger drivers, okay? Because what we are noticing, you can have better road, better signage, and all of the different measures for the road, but if you don't have behavioral change, if you don't have improved behavior, we will be victims to the same epidemic. We will be victims to the same problem that we continue to see. We will see more and more fatalities. So we have to change the driver behavior. Driver behavior and changing the culture of road safety starts with the youth, okay? It starts from the bottom and come up and build. Now, That's how I believe that the Caribbean, the U.S., wherever we go, we're going to begin to see a change and a continued reduction in injuries and fatalities on the road as we move forward. So that's encouraging. Barbados had a very good year in terms of fatalities, 14, increased a very good number from 2 years ago. So they're making progress. So my words and my encouragement to them, continue to reach out to each other, continue to share the information that they have, continue to build coalitions, continue to use all channels, all tools to get the word out there. Use social media, use the media, use your coalition groups, use the blogs, use any means that you have to get the word out about road safety, because we know that it's the #1 killer worldwide of young people ages 15 to 29.
Okay. How can you see the IRF helping you get this message out?
Well, the IRF can help get the message out about road safety by continuing to do what they do, continuing to formulate or organize meetings such as the one here. This started 3 years ago, and it started, fortunately, in my home and here in Jamaica, and then it went to Barbados. This is the 4th year. Sometimes, you know, I look at it this way: we might not have the numbers. We might be looking at numbers that we want at these meetings, but if you can impact one person from one country and save one life, I believe that the IRF has accomplished a lot. You know, so IRF can continue to do what they do, continue to spread the word, continue to work with people such as the NTSB and all of the different groups, the World Bank and the different groups that you're working with out there to continue to get the message out. And I see that you're also using Twitter and all the social media channels that you're using. You're using mass communication also, and that's a great tool to get the message out, because that we know that in this day and time, the millennials are using all channels of social media. They're constantly connected. And again, that goes back to who do we want to reach? We want to also reach the younger generation so that we can change the road safety culture.
Is there anything else you want to add about Congress or the Caribbean Road Association?
I think it was a fantastic Congress, and I think Esteban did a fantastic job of bringing everyone together and collaborating with the efforts that will hopefully continue to reduce injuries and fatalities here in the Caribbean region and globally in Latin America and wherever you guys dub your feet.